It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Panthers and the reigning NFC champs. And it comes your way next on EA Sports.
We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014. As you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Panthers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up.
Teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. Here's Smith to return it. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And Jimmy Garoppolo has shown that he can be a Super Bowl quarterback, but his biggest problem, his ability to stay healthy and remain on the field. When able, he's a capable quarterback prone to winning games both in the regular and postseason.
And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. Well, this defense for the Niners, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
And now Garoppolo lost the football. And this is going to be 49er football. So here are the 49ers and their offense in great field position already. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it. And sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10. Burrow will throw. He gets this to Davante Adams. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 3rd down, Bacon. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up. You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Davante Adams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. was Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Here's Smith to return it. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And incomplete on the deep ball.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Garoppolo looks to throw. Catch is made. It's Harmon. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Joseph Charlton and the punt team on now for the Panthers. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you run into big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Burrow on play action. And he fires one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Panthers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. But when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have a coach told us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. 4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Looking deep downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And here's Joseph Charlton now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, Not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Now Burrow on first down. And it's complete to Adams. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Well, whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice. Is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
And
that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On 2nd and 7, Burrow. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he is going to have the 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Niners will extend their lead here just before halftime. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. In the 2nd quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. There's Trimble, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Open man left side. It's the tight end Trimble. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And they are just about ready to head to halftime with the Dolphins on top. Tua Tagovailoa has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we'll keep the Florida theme going as we head north to check on the Jags at home in Jacksonville. And they were losers in that one to the visiting New York Giants. Saquon Barkley, a touchdown run in the victory. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks able to even their mark at 1-1 after falling in their opener a week ago. Now time for a check of the next-gen stats in the first half for Carolina. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Niners, we check out their numbers on the ground.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
These two coaching staffs likely going through their final adjustments for the second half. One of these teams is going to emerge 2-0. But who will it be? To find out, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
51 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
First down. Here's Burrow. That would almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down. 2nd and 10 here as we roll along in quarter number 3 from Santa Clara. And this, incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Bacon. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. Bacon, and he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the 49ers are on their way to a 2-0 start. Now Gold for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Here's Smith to return it. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Carolina offense about ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete here.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines.
Evades the tackler, and now some space. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. It's a big play there on 4th and 10. McCaffrey. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Now comes another in. And they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Panthers are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. So that drive 7 plays in length. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game. Someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow.
Out there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
On third down, Bacon. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 105 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They'll run on first down. Bacon. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The kick by Gold is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. From the 25 on 2nd down, Garoppolo. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? They're going to look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
And the Niners are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, we could have had our shutout.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Adams. And he's brought down. So the victory here for San Francisco. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for San Francisco, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the LA Rams come to town. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.